Hey there fellow musicians, Famous Dave here again with part 2 of my finger exercises series. These exercises in this video are a bit more complex than the ones in the first video, but don't forget you can always use your metronome to slow things down a little bit if you need to. As with the first video, there's a link in the description down below to where you can download a PDF, a tab PDF for these exercises, so be sure to go and have a look at that. These exercises can be used as warm-ups or as part of your wider practice routine. Again, we're concentrating on left and right hand coordination, alternate picking the down and up strokes of the picking hand, and also locking in with our metronome and really getting bang on in time with it. So, on to the exercises. These are all based around a major 7 arpeggio shape. In this case, it'll be C major 7, which looks like this, starting here at the 10th fret on the D string. So C major 7 arpeggio is basically one finger behind the other, 10th fret, 9th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret. Now the very first exercise simply plays through that major 7 fingering. But one of the big differences that you'll notice between these exercises and the previous ones is that we're doing a lot of string skipping. Every note is on a different string this time. So that makes the picking hand a little more complex, which means, again, you'll just have to give a lot of consideration and concentration to your picking hand. Maybe it means you want to start a little bit slower or slow the metronome right down until you find a tempo that's comfortable for you. In this case, for these exercises, our metronome setting is 80 beats per minute, but our tab has us playing 8 notes, which means we'll be playing 2 notes per click. So it'll be a little bit faster than in the previous exercises. But again, you don't have to work at this tempo. If you want to slow it down or indeed speed it up, if that suits you, you can go right ahead. Here's example 1. 1, 2, ready, play. On to example 2 now, and instead of simply sweeping up through the strings, we're also going to come back down. So we're going to kind of complete the arpeggio up and down. So it'll sound like this. Again, alternating each pick direction. Down, up, down, up, down, up. So we do the arpeggio in a kind of a loop. Here it is with the click. 1, ready, play. Again, one of the things that we're trying to do with these exercises is to sort of utilize economy of movement. You move the fingers as little as possible. I'm trying to keep my fingers kind of glued to the strings instead of lifting them away. So what some people tend to do is they'll play a note and move on to the next and lift their finger miles away from whatever string they were on. This is quite inefficient, so what we try to do instead is keep the fingers close to the strings, on them if you can, don't lift them off. That's a good deal harder, but it's a lot more efficient. Now, on to example number 3. So in example 3, we're going to add yet another note to our arpeggio. We're going to put the top note of the major chord. We're going to kind of complete that major chord, which involves us moving our the second finger over onto this 8th fret. Moving the second finger, we still maintain the alternate picking in the picking hand. So, with the click, here's example 3. 1, 2, ready, play. There we go, that's example 3. A little bit trickier, but what's the point of exercises like this if they don't get trickier? Okay, speaking of tricky, we're going to add in a big jump this time. We're going to do example 4, And example 4 starts with that same phrase that we've played in example 3, completing the major chord. We're going to play that twice, and then we're going to take that exact same shape but jump up 5 frets. So instead of a C major 7 chord, we're going to place it up here at the 15th fret, and it's going to become an F major 7 chord, but we're going to play our arpeggios by jumping from one position to the other. So without the click it sounds like this. That's twice through, then a quick jump, then jump back down again. So with the click, 1, 2, ready, play. There we go, that's exercise 4. Now then, let's try exercise 5. This is the last 2 bars on the page. We're going to further complicate the arpeggio, but this time we're going to stay in the C major 7 position, but we're going to extend it in the lower range. So we'll start as usual. We'll play our arpeggio up the way, add in our completing note on the top, and then with the 3rd finger, we're going to descend down to the 9th fret and kind of complete the arpeggio that way. So the full sort of sweep of the arpeggio sounds like this. And we're going to loop that a few times. So with our click again, here's what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, play. So as with any type of exercise, there's the possibility to modify that, develop it in any kind of ways you can think of. These are good examples in themselves, but there's lots of other modifications that you could add to it. Remember though, don't try and rush it. One of the mistakes that we all make is we try and play things too fast because we're impatient, and we all have to try and learn to be a little less impatient, because that's a skill that will really, really stand to us in our practice, which will ultimately help us in our playing as a whole. However, these are great exercises to teach us a bit of patience and also teach us how to use our fingers in efficient and coordinated kind of ways. So enjoy playing those exercises, see if you can develop your own variations on them, and we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.